they like border patrol came on, all had guns, checking everyone's passports. I was very scared. I don't like guns.
I bet. You don't like guns.
No. It sounds weird. You guys speak exactly like I would expect you to speak.
But it is stereotypical America.
Everyone's like, oh, valid, for real, for real. Got me tripping.
Got me tripping. They wouldn't say that in Ireland, huh?
No, unless you were like 12 and weird.
Okay, welcome back to Chillin with Dylan. This is episode number, I think it's 12. I should know. It's my own show, right? It's been a while. I got my boy Conor.
Hello.
Please pronounce your last name for me real quick.
Conor McGrath.
McGrath. Okay, McGrath. Okay.
Yeah.
I say it wrong. Conor here is my friend from Ireland, right?
Yeah, Emerald Isle.
Emerald Isle, Ireland?
Yes, sir.
That's a mouthful. Emerald Isle, Ireland.
Yeah, you can just call it Ireland. Like, it's probably similar than the Emerald Isle.
Yeah, but like the city's Emerald Isle.
No, so it's like you might call the United States of America the States. It's
Jeez.
like the Emerald Isle.
Oh, okay.
Or Britain's raincoat is another one we get.
Okay. Britain's raincoat. That's crazy. Anyways, real quick before we get into it though, it's been a while, right? Off topic. Conor is now a part of my pledge class. I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Because I haven't said that publicly at all, that we're in a fraternity now. So that's lit. That's super cool. And we'll just give you some context. He is a single semester foreign exchange student.
Single semester foreign exchange, yeah.
Here in the beautiful Southern Utah University. If you know where that is, you probably don't. Hopefully you don't. Don't come find us.
God knows how I got here.
Yeah, I know. And you are my second international guest.
I wish I was your first.
You almost were.
You always remember the first. You never remember the second.
Yeah, the first is even. The first. The first. So Conor, I got a few questions for you. Obviously,
yeah, go ahead.
As we probably would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I should come prepared to my own podcast. You know what I mean? But sometimes we just don't. Real quick though, before I actually get into those, I do want to talk about the fraternity situation.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm curious about your perspective of it, but also my perspective of it, because it's all new to me too, you know? And I'm 22, you're 21.
Yeah.
But we're both new to the whole fraternity, Sigma Chi thing.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think about it so far?
It was like...
Without getting too in-depth, obviously.
Yeah, I grew up not in America.
Yeah.
So my idea of like frats or fraternities was movies. Like I remember the first one that I realized they were like a real thing was, one Monsters University.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
But I don't know, like 22 Jump Street and what's the one with Zac Efron?
The Neighbors.
The Bad Neighbors.
Yeah.
Or Neighbors, whatever one.
That one's always popular.
That's a good movie.
And that's all you knew about him.
That was literally it. That was it before. And and a few like hazing stories.
Okay. As hazing normally makes the headlines, yep.
Yeah, that's literally all I'd heard.
Right.
So it hasn't been like that. It hasn't been like that. It's been fun.
Right.
It's been a good overall experience.
Yeah, I mean that's what from my same perspective. I've lived in Cedar my entire life, right? And I've never joined a fraternity, obviously, because I joined with you. But it was definitely eye opening to like realize that it's not like the movies, and it's also more in depth. And already on campus, I've already had some of my friends kind of look down on me about it, and I'm sure people who listen to this podcast will say, "Oh, damn, you joined a fraternity.
They're already gone.
you're a frat boy now." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it publicly. We're in a fraternity now.
Yeah.
We're both Sigma Chi's. We did not get hazed.
We did not.
We can say it proudly. People won't believe us, but that's okay.
For legal purposes, we did not get hazed.
For legal purposes, it's not. But yeah, so that's cool. Ireland.
Yes.
That's crazy, bro.
It's a good country.
It's a good country. We love Ireland over here.
We do. I'm wearing an Ireland jersey right now.
Okay.
You were meant to bring a camera so I could show it off.
Yeah, that's tough, bro.
Well,
did they win anything this year or no?
Oh, yeah. We won the Rugby Grand Slam
Grand
last week.
Slam.
It's a rugby competition with 6 nations. It's Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, and France, and Italy. Oh. We won everything. We beat everyone.
Did you play in high school or whatever, secondary school?
Secondary school, I did. I was never very good. I think a coach described me as a player with good heart. Which
that's tough, bro.
I think I was loud and not great, but it was fun. No, I damaged my ACL and got a few concussions on my way. But
interesting.
Good sport. I was more into like football or soccer growing up.
So football or soccer, not American football or soccer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All coloured football.
That's
because
valid.
It's a sacrilegious to call it anything else.
Do you call it football in Ireland?
For the most part.
Because I know there's a few other countries that call it soccer.
There's, to my knowledge, 4, and it's America, Canada, Australia, and Ireland are the only ones that officially call it soccer. We have our own version, Gaelic football, which still makes more sense to call that football than American football.
American football is not football at all.
Like you kick the ball once every 20 minutes.
Yeah, it definitely should be handball.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah. Interesting. So rugby is kind of like American football, right?
Yeah, you can only pass the ball backwards.
Oh wow!
And there's no breaks in play. Well, there is if there's if you out of bounds or being penalised for something. But if the game's played well, it's 40 minutes of non-stop rugby.
Isn't it also more dirty?
Oh yeah,
a lot more tackles and
yeah. I remember it got described. I got in trouble for stamping on a few people.
Okay.
So I was always told it's a hooligans game played by gentlemen.
There
is what
go.
I was always told to believe in growing up.
Yeah.
So people get physical, definitely get physical, but it's you got to there's a lot of respect in it.
Right, there has to be.
Which not really on my end. I just liked hitting people.
That's fair.
But I didn't like getting hit.
I bet it hurt.
Oh yeah.
So have you ever played tackle football for American football? Probably not.
I played maybe during a break in school, like for lunch, we might go out, and if someone brought a football with them, or American football, we play.
So the rugby ball is different, obviously. Huh?
Yeah, it's bigger. It's bigger, and it's not as pointy on either end. It's more
circular.
Yeah, it's kind of it's very ovally.
Wow, that's interesting. Rugby. I just always remember growing up hearing about how rugby was just so dangerous compared to football.
It's actually, I think it's less dangerous. I think there's less injuries. There's less head injuries as well.
Interesting.
Which is because I strongly advocate for the removing of helmets in football.
Yeah.
Because it would lead to less head injuries because people wouldn't lead into tackles with their head.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, so rugby, I mean, we have some gear. So it's you can wear pads.
Uh-huh.
But the only piece that you can't play without it is a gum shield.
Interesting. And all of them, huh?
That's it. It's only on the top row of your mouth.
Huh.
And so so most people only mine only went down I don't know what tooth that is. It's before the molars. So it only covered half my front my
premolars.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know.
Probably premolars.
Canine something.
Yeah, something along there. It was a small piece. It covered 6 teeth.
Wow. And it's required, huh?
That's the only thing that's required.
So did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did, yeah.
Have you grown up watching that or only this year?
I've watched a few. I think the first one I remember watching was 2014 with the Seahawks.
Oh.
They were on the 1 yard line, and decided to pass it instead of running it, and they lost. And I don't really remember watching it. I don't think I stayed awake for the rest of it.
Yeah, because it wasn't.
But that was the first one I watched, and I watch them every year, but sometimes I don't finish them.
So being in America, was it different watching it? Was it a different vibe?
Yeah,
because here in America, people actually cared, probably, huh?
Yeah, and it was bright outside, which is usually when I'm watching it. It's on at 1 a.m.
Oh wow!
And it goes all the way to 3 or 4.
Did it give you World Cup vibes at all?
No.
Okay.
No, because the World Cup is something else.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it.
I was doing a bit of a pub crawl during the World Cup final this year, and every pub we went into, there was 30 or 40 people glued to a TV watching it. And that was the bars that weren't big into sports.
Uh-huh.
Then other bars, there was 150 people in there all just staring up at a TV.
It's just that popular, huh?
Yeah, we went to how many? We went to 14 bars that night. Every single one of them was playing the World Cup.
Nice little pub crawl, huh? 14 bars? That's crazy, bro.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember the last 3.
That's fair. That's fair. What's the legal drinking age in Ireland?
18.
18, okay.
Yeah, but there's ways to get around it, legally. You can drink with your parents. I don't actually know if this is true. This is just kind of how I grew up. If you're with your parents and you're above 15, the bar won't care.
Interesting.
They'll just assume that if it's okay with the parents, it's okay at the establishment, because then it's not on the establishment's head.
I mean, I was always supplied alcohol by my parents before of age, but that's just how it goes in America. I definitely tried alcohol before 21, I'll admit it. Everyone has. You know what I mean? Is that why you waited so long to come here? Was it because you needed to be 21?
Yeah, I needed to be 21. I've been drinking 6 years now. I wasn't gonna give that up now.
Yeah. That's wild. Isn't it weird though? America's 21?
Yeah.
It's annoying, huh?
Yeah, and I reckon it's a weird. I think you're the only country in the world that it's 21.
It's wild. I don't get it. I really don't. And it's so, I don't know. I think it's. I don't know why they do it. I remember hearing something a long time ago about like trying to get people to stop doing it as much. I think it had something to do with Prohibition. You ever heard about that era?
Yeah.
With like Al Capone and all the gangsters.
Yeah, that was like, well, I don't even know when that was. That was like...
That was in the 40s, 20s. It was 1920s. Sorry.
Oh, I thought it was like the 1800s.
No. I mean, probably 1800s until 1920s or something. Okay. But yeah.
I remember seeing something that was like to stop drink driving.
Drunk driving?
Yeah. But...
Is it the worst in America? Because, I mean, I feel like other countries are pretty rowdy.
Yeah, we are. But like I reckon there's more drink driving now. I've got no statistics to back this up. If we had a fact checker,
if we had Jamie on the show,
but I feel like it's worse here because especially in somewhere like Cedar, like obviously I come from a capital city like Dublin, so there's a lot of public transport. But I feel like here you don't really have that option. It's just you got to find your way home. It's either like a half an hour walk. Maybe you're lucky you'll get a taxi. Yeah. Or you just got to hope that there's a DD somewhere.
Somewhere, right? It's unbelievable. It really is.
I have gone like 4 a.m, barely able to walk, and was able to get onto a bus at 4 a.m. to bring me home.
That's crazy. Just stumble onto a bus.
Like I've gotten on the wrong bus before. Like that was a journey. Like I know a friend of mine. So there's an airport coach that goes like up all the way up from like 2 hours south of Dublin all the way to Dublin Airport. My friend got on the wrong bus and woke up by a guy telling him to wake up outside the airport.
Interesting.
And then the next bus wasn't for 2 hours, and he was sat there in the airport waiting.
Damn.
Just like unable to do anywhere, and he had to pay I think €90 to get a taxi home.
That's crazy. Hold up real quick. Let's bring that up. We were talking about that before the podcast. The euro. You said a euro is $1
It's $1.07
for US dollars.
I'm like 99. The last time I checked, it was.
It's probably changed.
It was like 3 or 4 days ago.
But so like if I were to spend €10 or if I wanted €10, I would have to pay $10.70.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm almost positive. Where's the fact checker?
I think, no, if you have €10 and you want dollars, it gives you $10.07. I don't know.
So it gives you $10.07.
Yeah.
But if I wanted €10, I would have to pay $10.07 to get them. Meaning I would pay 7 cents more. Does that make sense? Like if I went to
I'm so confused.
So like say I went to Ireland right now, right? You guys use a euro.
Yeah.
And I wanted to exchange my currency. Right. Yeah. I would say, okay, bet. Here we go. I got $20. Can I get €20, please? They're gonna say, no, your money doesn't equal €20, so give us more. And then we'll give you €20.
Okay.
Does that make sense? They'll say, give us €20, $20 plus 7 cents to each dollar.
Yeah, see, when I'm not thinking about it, that makes sense. But then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know how that works.
That's fair.
It's more, I go on the vibe. Like I just whatever this money gets me, give it to me, please.
There you go. That's okay.
And then whatever they give me is what they give me.
Yeah. I mean, that's valid.
It just confuses me too much. I don't like to think about it.
It is confusing, especially I think the euro is the only thing that has more value than the dollar, I think. I guess the UK is a pound, but
yeah, the UK. I don't know what the exchange rate is for the UK.
I think it's about the same. I know the euro's the best though, the best currency in the world. Yeah, ooh, European Union, ooh, whatever. But then US dollar is like you can use that anywhere basically. Like a US dollar, I think in majority of countries that aren't in Europe or like China, I think you can use the US dollar.
I'd like that to be fact checked.
You have no clue?
I've been to a lot of countries and I've met a lot of Americans and I've never seen anyone use an American bill.
Because I just know I
know there's some countries that use the dollar just without like being allowed to. They just have it. Saying like I think North Macedonia used the euro despite not being in the European Union and have they're not allowed to use the euro.
And they just use it anyway?
Yeah, because their currency is like off the walls, like fluctuating so much. There's like, we'll just use the euros.
Isn't it crazy how it just works like that? How like paper can either be valuable or not.
Like you guys, all the dollar notes are all the same size, same color, but there's just a little number that's different on each one.
That's the same with the euro, right?
No. We've got different sizes, different colors.
Wow.
We've got like the fiver, like so the €5 is the smallest. Then the €10 is a bit bigger, €20 is a bit bigger, €50 is a bit bigger. 100 is quite big. 200 I've never seen in person. I'm not fully convinced it exists. It's huge.
What about a 500?
500, insane. I've never seen one.
Do they exist?
Yeah, I've seen a picture. My cousin had one in work, and I got him to send me a video of it.
Wow. And how big is that? You'd think. I know there's
This
no.
is great for the people at
I
home.
know.
I'd say that maybe.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I know that there's
Actually, wait, I think I've got some euro on me actually. I think.
Okay. I think America produced $500 bills until about 1850. That's also not a fact, but I know there was at some point. Oh damn,
That's a 10 euro note.
that's actually kind of crazy. It's like more rectangular almost,
Yeah, and
taller.
because of the size differences, blind people can just hold it and check, tell what it is.
That's actually smart.
Yeah.
I remember my German teacher always complaining about that in high school. Like if a blind person be able to tell what it is which is nice. Super cool they had that. It's like crazy though, huh? There's no individual person on this,
No,
which
because-
normally with
because-
currency there is.
Yeah, because it's like 28 different countries. Well, 27.
Yeah. Right. 20. That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure it was 28 and now it's 27, but I think it might have gone up. I think we might have had a few more additions to the European Union.
And you can like travel amongst them.
Yeah, free travel. Well, obviously, like passports are checked leaving Ireland because you're leaving the country going on a plane. But like, say if you want to drive from France to Spain, there's no borders to stop you.
That is crazy.
It's really handy. It makes travel like when I went like all over Europe last summer, it was just handy that like we didn't need like 12 different visas to get everything working.
Yeah. So it's almost like states almost.
Yeah.
Because America is big enough to be
To be like
separate
a continent,
countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. That's
So, yeah,
cool.
It was we went. I think we had a bit of trouble. I think going from. It was Croatia to like Slovakia was tough because they like border patrol came on, all had guns, checking everyone's passports. I was very scared. I don't like guns.
I bet. You don't like guns.
No.
Guns are so... Have you ever shot one before?
Yeah, I went shooting over spring break.
Here.
Yeah.
Have you ever shot a gun before you came to America?
No.
Ever?
Never.
So you can't just go to like a shooting range if you pay money?
No, I mean, not that I've found. I wanted to do one when I was in Bratislava, but I needed like €150 to rent out a gun. And it was like the last week and a half of my holiday, and I didn't have that kind of money to splash on. If it was week one, I was going ham on an AK-47.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that kind of funds.
Can you do it in Ireland at least? Probably not, right?
I don't know. I've never seen anywhere.
Because someone was telling me that you can have a gun if you're trying to hunt.
Yeah. So I know people that have had guns. Like you can get like a hunting license, but I think it's only like you're only allowed like a double barrel.
That's crazy. What did you shoot over spring break?
Jeez, I don't know. They were big though. They were big and loud.
Did you go to a shooting range or did you go out west somewhere with somebody?
It was a shooting range, but it was like an outside one. Like there was no. It was you bring your own guns.
Was it
type
here in
thing.
Cedar?
Yeah, yeah.
Who'd you go with?
Cody, and then a few other guys that he knows.
Okay. Was one of them an AR?
Yes, to the best of my knowledge.
It wasn't automatic. It's a single fire,
yeah.
but it's a big gun.
Yeah.
Looks like it would be automatic.
And I didn't bring ear protection because I didn't know I need any.
Because you'd never...
No, because I
ever experienced
I was like, oh, they're loud, but like, how loud are they?
And then you felt it.
Then my ears were ringing.
How about when you asked, did you shoot it?
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
I was like, I want to start out with the pistol, and they were just like, no, and
You're
gave me
going
the
to the
biggest
AR?
gun they had first. It nearly blew my shoulder off.
I bet.
Like, it
Because you
was-
weren't expecting it.
No, I was expecting like a little kick, but I didn't expect it to like try and take my shoulder off.
That is so crazy. It's so wild to me. Just like, I've been shooting guns my whole life. So it's weird to like, I don't know, just hear. You know what I mean?
That other people haven't shot guns.
Ever. It is strange. So was it, when you shot it, did you feel a burst of air hit you? Like in your face? Because some ARs have a gas tube that like shoots back there.
I don't remember. I didn't
Okay.
feel anything. Like it wasn't noticeable if there was.
What, did it have a scope on it?
One of them did, and then just before I was about to shoot, some guy stopped me, and one of the guys stopped me and was like, "Your eyes are really close to the scope, by the way."
So you might as well move back.
And he just goes like, "It'll really mess up your eye."
Right.
So I had to like go back, and thank God he did, because it nearly hit my eye anyway after I went back.
Yeah. That's a good thing. He saved you. What about the pistol? It was fun, right?
Yeah, I shot. So I didn't use ear protection on that one because I was like, oh, I've shot a big gun now, I'm fine. It was I didn't use ear protection. Shot I think 3 times, then my ear started ringing, and I was like, damn, I should probably put this
It's
away.
loud, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't ready for it. Like
It's crazy.
I wanted to use I want to see how much a silencer does to it because I heard that they do nothing.
I know my friends are big into it and they just barely both dropped 1,000 each on a silencer. It's unbelievable, I know. But I never shot one in person, so I'm not sure.
I've shot them on COD.
And video games, it makes it really
Yeah,
quiet.
it's like
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. That's interesting to think about.
you know,
Cool.
it's I've never I've held a gun. There was a U.S. Navy ship that came into Dublin once, and I held a gun.
Oh wow.
And I think I was maybe 10 or 11.
10 or 11.
And I was like, oh, I've played COD. I know what guns are.
Yeah, huh.
And so he like brought it on. I was like, oh, is this a Dragunov? And he was just like, no.
It's
And then I was, oh, it was a Bart 50 cal. And he goes, no, it's not.
yeah.
It was just a gun with a scope, and I assumed it was a sniper.
That's crazy. Have you heard of a 50 cal?
Yeah, one of the guns I shot, I'm pretty sure was 50 cal.
Nah, there's no way you'd be in Cedar gun range.
I mean, maybe not. Like, I don't know guns.
That's fair. 50 cal is huge. Just like...
Oh, wait, yeah, no, wait. Yeah, no, yeah, no, sorry. Now I'm remembering what a 50 cal. That's like the big machine guns and big... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but also like the round you shot was probably either 223 or... Forgot the other name for it. NATO.
You could be speaking Chinese to me now, and it'll make the same amount of sense.
Valid. 5, I forgot. But yeah, that's so crazy. You shot a gun for the first time. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool, though. I'm happy you enjoyed it. It took your hearing, but
Yeah, a little bit.
you have it back now.
Yeah, thankfully.
And you're probably you're probably looking around for cops the entire time, wondering if you're about to go arrested for shooting a gun.
You know, I sent the video to my family back home, and my mum was heartbroken to see me shoot. She was like, "Were you safe? Was anyone threatening you?"
That's crazy. Just because it's so not even real, huh? Like
No.
in Ireland, you're not allowed to have it.
No, like if I've never seen a gun. I mean, my granddad had one, but I never saw it.
Interesting.
All I know is about that shotgun is when my dad asked my granddad to marry my mum, my granddad whipped out the shotgun. And
Okay. That's classic.
he denies this, but my dad stands by it.
Yeah, that happens in America all the time.
That's what a shotgun would is.
Yeah, shotgun. The shotguns are lit. I gotta ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
What do you think about the way Americans talk versus you? Because I've noticed a few things with dialect and words you say that make me laugh, but I know it's like just part of your language. You
Like
know,
what?
like we both speak English, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just different words. Like you say, I reckon a lot, and we never say that here in America. Like, I reckon that.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I'm going to be thinking about that
It's
now
okay.
every time I say
It's
it.
okay. It's just valid. And then you say, there's a few more. It's funny how you say it, though.
Well, I know, like, we like consume a lot of American media, but it's you guys. I don't know, it sounds weird. You guys speak exactly like I would expect you to speak, which it sounds like it sounds normal, but it was like I was expecting to come here and be like, oh, people aren't actually like this stereotypical American.
But it is stereotypical
yeah,
America.
everyone's like, oh, valid for real. Got me tripping.
Got me tripping. They wouldn't say that in Ireland, huh?
No, unless you were like 12 and weird.
Okay, 12 and weird. You're 12 and weird if you say valid, tripping, or for real.
Well, sorry, no, 12 or weird.
Okay, that's fair.
Like if you're a grown Irishman and you're going around saying valid,
That's valid.
you'd get some weird looks off some people.
What about bet?
Bet?
Okay, bet.
No, I feel like I've said it before.
I bet.
I think when like I bet was a meme or something like a while ago. I feel like people would say it,
Yeah.
or in like school, some people might say it, but it wouldn't be like a common.
Interesting. It's so commonplace in America.
Yeah, like our dialect is, it's just insulting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, whatever works, right?
yeah. It's all,
I mean, we do that too. I just think different
yeah.
skills.
Like there's some words here that you can't say, but at home it's a term of endearment that I'd call my own father.
Term of endearment. I'll bleep it out, but tell me what term that is.
Like so, if say like obviously you can't say the word here.
Is it commonplace there?
Yeah, like say
everywhere?
I'd be in the pub with my dad, and I'm like, oh, do you want another drink? And he's like, no, and I'd be like, oh, don't be a.
That's crazy.
And then he'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's get a drink. Like,
is it because like here in America that word is considered pretty foul,
yeah,
but also like the F word is also considered pretty foul. So in Ireland, what's the worst word?
British.
That's crazy, bro.
No, I don't know what like we don't really have.
British.
Maybe when you stretch into slurs
Okay.
is when people draw the line.
That's
but like,
fair. As far as like commonplace swear
Yeah.
words.
Like my grandmother has called me and my cousins every name under the sun.
Yeah.
At some point for valid reasons.
Yeah.
Like we were acting the hooligan, and then and she'd call us like a bunch of bastards.
Uh-huh. Bastards is nothing here.
No, yeah. But it's like it's very common. Like if there's no like stipulation about it, or not what's the word? Stigma about cursing. It's just kind of like every day people just speak.
So if you call your mom a bastard growing up, do you get in trouble?
Oh, you can't say that to your mother or your grandmother.
Okay.
Pretty much everyone else is on like you don't disrespect a woman or your own mother by calling her a bastard. But
you just don't do it, huh?
But she can call you a bastard.
That's okay.
Like that's allowed.
That's fair. Also, I just noticed one more. You said it. You said acting a bastard or something.
Oh yeah, you'd say you're acting a fool. You're acting a maggot.
Fool, yeah. That's like
acting a gobshite.
In America, that would be what my grandma would say to me: acting a fool.
Yeah. Okay. So just kind of like you're acting a fool there now, boy.
That was pretty harsh.
That's how my granddad would talk to me.
Interesting. One more time.
You're acting a fool now, boy.
So just really deep Irish.
Deep, like I'm from Dublin, which is probably the easiest bit of the Irish accent to understand. My granddad's from West Cork, which is up there with the hardest. Jeez. It's the only one of the harder place called Kerry.
Kerry.
Where I watch videos of people from Kerry speaking, and I don't know what they're saying half the time.
Damn.
And so most people don't have a chance.
It's that deep, huh?
Like there's one video I've watched it maybe 30 times. I've picked up on 10 words this guy's saying. I'm not fully convinced it's English.
Yeah. Oh, you say that. You say GG a lot.
GG, yeah, I do.
What does GG mean to you?
Good game.
Okay. So when you reply to me, GG, it just means a good game? That's what it means
so
here.
We started out like you'd say GG to someone after a game. Mm-hmm. And then it just turned into, okay, we're meeting at this time. Okay, GG.
Okay. That's okay. That means that it's the same here.
Yeah, I just can't explain why we use it differently.
Right.
Hey, you. Yeah, you listening. Go ahead and hit that follow button to never miss another episode. Thank you.
Okay, so we're back after that nice little ad break. So you say you pulled up a little fact here, right?
Yeah.
And read it out for the people. Read it out for the people.
I feel like you're still going to make me look stupid somehow.
Okay.
But so if you convert a euro is $1.09.
Okay.
So if you look at $10.09 into euros from USD is €9.26.
Okay. So €1 is $1 US dollar and 9 cents.
Yeah.
Okay. So therefore, you say, give me a good example for this. Let's argue about this for a second.
So like $1 then is 92 cents.
Of euros.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, 92 euro cent. We'll call them euro cents.
So if you wanted 10 euros, you would give them $10.70-ish cents.
$10.90.
$10.90 for 10 euros.
See, now I...
Either way, I'm losing money. If I get euros, I'm losing money. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, like numbers-wise, yes, but technically, no. Technically, it's the exact same, bar the exchange rate drop.
Okay, so what do you mean technically numbers-wise?
Well, like if you're talking about like just ignoring what currency it is, you had 110 or you had $110.
Yeah.
And now you only have €100. Technically, you might look at it and be like, that's less money. But technically, it's the exact same amount of money. That's how exchange rates work.
But if I wanted to if I knew I was going to Ireland, and I knew I needed to get euros, and the room I wanted to stay in was €100, and all I had on me was $100 US, I would not be able to pay for that room, because I need to give you $110 US. You know what I mean? So I'd be losing money. Does that make sense? Like if I went to Ireland and I needed to pay €100, and I only had $100, I wouldn't be able to pay for it.
Well, it's like I was in Zimbabwe. I haven't been to Zimbabwe. This is an example. Their currency is like €1 is 100 trillion Zimbabwean dollars.
That is crazy.
Like so, they use the US dollar. I'm pretty sure because it's easier to use than theirs. So it's not like I can be like, oh, in Zimbabwe I'm a trillionaire, but in Ireland I've got a euro.
But while you're in Zimbabwe, you'd be a trillionaire.
Yeah, but if it's like, oh, I need to pay this one thing costs $1 Zimbabwean dollar, I can't just be like, oh, here's €1. To them, that's like I'm offering trillions and trillions of dollars.
That makes sense, I guess.
For a coffee.
All I know is I'm still losing money if I go to Ireland. That's all I know.
Oh yeah, well yeah. If you come to Ireland, I'll show you a good time.
I know. We'll go to 14 bars in one night. In the least.
I was only meant to go to 12 as well. It was like it's a tradition. Did I tell you about the 12 pubs at Christmas?
No, the 12 pubs.
It's my favorite Irish holiday.
I bet it is.
We did it. So I did it 2 times last Christmas. The first one was the day of the World Cup, the 18th of December.
Okay.
And you start off in the first pub. Actually, I'll say the second day, 'cause second day was funnier.
Uh-huh.
The second time we did it, I think, was like the 22nd of December. That's like the day you're meant to do it.
Uh-huh.
and you go 12 pubs in a day, have a one unit, or we have either a pint or a double vodka mix or like double anything mix in each pub as you go along, and each pub has their own rule. Like I'll whip up out a few. I think I still have the list of rules on my phone.
Okay.
So it's a great idea, and then you're at like pub like 10, and you have no idea what's going on. Right. So we did them in random order, so no one knew what was going to come next.
Right.
Which was tough, like because one of them was no. It's a waterworks pub is what it's called, so you can't go to the toilet
At all.
So you got to finish your drink and go to the next pub to go to the toilet.
That's
and
crazy.
that fell on the fourth pub, so we all had like over 2 liters of alcohol into us, and no one had peed yet. So it was we all had to just finish our drinks in one and run to the next pub to go to the toilet.
Yeah. And that's different, by the way, to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Here we'd say go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I've got a problem with that. There's no
Why?
bath in that room.
There is no bath in that room.
There's
You're
just a
very
toilet.
correct. You're very correct.
A bathroom is something that has a bath and a toilet in it.
Yeah.
Or maybe just a bath.
Or some people say, "Can I use the restroom?"
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Never heard that?
No, like we don't have that.
It's common here in America.
Yeah. And just another one of these. Some of these rules are very funny. The no names pub was you couldn't acknowledge anyone's name. So I couldn't call you Dylan, couldn't call you Dalton, couldn't call you D-Dog. Like there was no
Nothing.
nicknames, no nothing. So we just resorted to whenever I wanted to say. So there's 12 of us doing this pub crawl. To be like, hey man, over there. Like so, there's no names, and it was the most confusing like half an hour.
That's all you say? Hey, man, over there?
Yeah, because you can't say the name. And so if you want to so we just tried to get it done quickly, but I think that came quite late in the day.
Yeah.
So we were fairly well on,
Yeah.
fairly drunk at that point. Like we were. Oh, I don't want to get deported for saying this, but I may or may not have accidentally peed on the American embassy.
That's crazy.
It was I know what I was on the road, but I don't know which. I don't know how far up the road. I'm like 99% sure I didn't, but it's a funny thing to think I might have.
What is the Irish choice of drink? Beer?
Beer mainly. For me, it's whatever's cheapest. Like,
That's fair.
I'm a man for just whatever's cheap and half decent. Put it in front of me.
Yeah.
But I'd say for the majority of the country, be a Guinness.
Yeah.
I do like a good Guinness, but
So, like, alcohol is synonymous with being Irish, right?
pretty much, yeah.
Is there any sober people in Ireland? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I have a few friends that don't drink.
At all?
Yeah.
Are they
Yeah.
weird for that?
No, there's no crack.
Okay.
No, like it's not for everyone.
Okay.
Like it's definitely for me.
Yeah.
It's something that like a lot, like 90% of the country would be. But I know people that are just like, I just don't like it. Which is
That's fair. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, a valid reason not to. Like,
right.
like I've been in ways now where I'm like, I woke up the next day being like, I'm never drinking again. Every time I reckon I've embarrassed myself in my life that I've had at least a bit of alcohol that day.
Okay. What was your worst hangover?
Jeez, now there's so many to think of. There was I remember now. We were on a lads trip, so me and 7 of my friends down to Cork.
On a lad's trip, so I
And-
wouldn't say that either. No, that's funny, yeah.
We were like, I want to say 17.
Uh-huh.
Maybe 16. I can't remember. We went 2 years. I can't remember which year we went. So none of us had our driver's license.
How old do you have to be?
To start driving? 7 or 16 to do your theory test. You pass your theory test, then you have to do 12 lessons.
Oh, wow.
12 hours. You can do if you're a mad person, you can do that in one lesson and just drive for 12 hours straight.
Wow.
But after your theory test, you need to wait 6 months to do your actual driver's test.
Like where you're driving on the road or a physical exam type thing?
You're physically driving.
Okay.
And so I got my theory I took ages. So you have your like learner's permit for 2 years. Then
Wow.
it expires and you have to renew it to get a new one. I needed to renew my learner's permit. It took me over 2 years to learn how to drive.
Okay.
But I will say it was not my fault.
On the left side of the road and the right side of the car.
Yeah. It
So
was
strange.
Yeah. Jeez. So yeah, sorry. So none of us had a car. So we had to get a bus from Dublin to Cork City, which is like a 4-hour drive. And then we needed to get another bus from a train from Cork to Skibbereen, which is a small town just outside of Cork. That took about an hour and a half. And
Skibbereen.
Skibbereen. It was where we Olympic silver medalists for Ireland. The O'Donovan brothers rowing came from there. I can never understand a word they say. And then another hour on the bus to get to Schull was where we went, and then another 45-minute walk to get to the house. So it was a long day. And at the end of it, so the last night, we were playing a bit of beer pong, but we'd run out of beer.
Okay.
And all we had left was vodka. So we just poured like a double shot into each one. And it was maybe 4 a.m. Me and my friend Maliki were legless. Not like we weren't hitting the table.
Uh-huh.
And then we decided to come up with a bet. We were like right by the sea. It was like whoever loses has to go get into the water.
Right.
At like 4 a.m, well, very drunk. Sorry, Mum, if you're listening to this. And I remember I'd gotten it in. I'd sunk the last one, so Maliki had to do it.
Right.
And then he was just like, I was like, you know what, I'll give you one shot to redeem yourself. If you get it in, I'll go with you. And he just nailed it, like straight in.
Damn.
And so we decided it's the smartest idea to strip up here so that we don't need to strip down at the pier.
Yeah.
And he had like the guys whose house it was, driveway full of stones. We had like left our like flip flops in the house. We got 2 steps out of the front door, and Maliki's like, we should probably go back and get our flip flops.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we're too far gone.
Yeah.
So we ran the 150 meters over stones to the ocean. Didn't tell anyone where we were going. I got in, didn't drown somehow. Got back out. This was like all at 5 a.m, and we needed to get up at 8.
Wow.
And then we on the way back we see like all the lads with their torches out finding us. We're like
Torches.
Yeah, like flashlight on their phone.
Okay. Torches. Huh? Interesting.
And then there's like, because they heard the doors open, so they checked out. The music had stopped because we brought our phones with us.
Yeah.
And they realized that we're not there anymore. So they're freaking out, their
Right.
thing. And then eventually they get us up into bed. Like at like 6 a.m, we have 2 hours of sleep. I wake up and like, so it's about another 7 hours for me to get home on like hot buses. And I ended up getting sick outside of a little. You know guys of Little here. It's like a Walmart, a Swedish Walmart, and I ended up getting sick outside one of them, and like pretty much was just I slept the whole bus ride because if I opened my eyes I would have gotten sick.
That's crazy.
Except for 1 minute where I had the urge to offer my friends a selection of assorted Spanish hams that I'd bought in the Little that I'd gotten sick behind. And I turned around and I didn't realise that one of my friends had given up his seat for an old man. So I offered an old man an assorted selection of Spanish hams.
Yeah.
And it was the most embarrassing thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Like he just looked at me and was like, "No, you know what? You're okay. I don't need ham." I wanted to die.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I bet. That's funny though. Interesting. So I heard 2 big things from that: torches,
Yeah.
and then sorry, I'm just interested by all. Then the other one, he said meters, the whole metric versus imperial system. What do you think about miles?
Stupid. Like, how many feet are in a mile?
5,280.
Do you know how many meters are in a kilometer?
How many? 1,000. How many? Then there's 10 millimeters in a centimeter.
10 millimeters in a centimeter. 100 centimeters in a meter. And then if you want to go even smaller than millimeters, there's 10 decimeters in a millimeter. And then it goes 10 nanometers in a decimeter. So it's just even numbers.
It is. It really is. It makes no sense, I'll be honest with you. I don't know why America wanted to use the imperial system. I think that's what it's called.
But the Brits have it weirder. They use both.
At the same time?
Yeah. They use miles per hour, but they also use Celsius.
Do you use Celsius?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were 100% metric. Like sane individual. Like, the weather is the only thing that I'd agree that Fahrenheit might be a bit better for.
Yeah.
Because the difference between like 15 and 17 degrees isn't that much.
In Celsius?
Yeah. But if you go like, oh no, it's a lot, but it doesn't say it's a lot.
Yeah.
But then the other way around, like Fahrenheit, there's just a wider scale.
Yeah.
Like you can be like, oh, it's 75 today and it's 80. I don't know. I feel like it works better. I still don't understand the Fahrenheit.
So what would like a normal day in Cedar right now is probably 50 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe. That's a little warm.
Yeah.
What would that be in Celsius?
Haven't a clue. I think maybe like 5 degrees Celsius, 6
That's
degrees.
it? Jesus.
And I think so. I'm just guessing.
Interesting.
But it's about that. I think what's zero?
In
Fahrenheit? Or like what's freezing, sorry.
32. Below 32. I think. Below 32 is freezing.
Yeah, see, now that's the only thing. That doesn't make sense to me.
I'm going to fact check that just because I need to make sure. I'm pretty sure it's below 32 degrees is freezing. And 0 is freezing in Celsius. That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense.
It makes so much sense.
And then 100 is the boiling point of water. So, it all...
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, below 32 degrees.
Okay.
Makes 0 sense.
Yeah, so then converting to Fahrenheit, I have no idea. There's I asked someone once and they gave me like a formula. like times it by 5 and subtract it by 10, something like that.
There's definitely, we used to learn in school a lot, but I forgot it now.
So I just gave up on it. I just have my phone set to Celsius. Actually, I can tell you what it is Celsius right now.
Yeah.
But so I've given up on everything else. I'm fine with miles. Everything I'm fine with. But my phone still says it's 1 degree Celsius right now.
Wow.
But it feels like -2.
Yeah, it does. So when you're driving here and like you go to the stoplight, you're turning left, you'll get in that lane and then you'll turn left, right? Would that be the same for you, except you'd get in that lane to turn right and you can just turn left wherever you want?
So no, you can't. So left, you still need to wait for a green light. Like you can't just go on a red.
Okay.
Like
you can't hear either.
Well, so you can turn right. You can turn right in a red light here.
Okay, you can't do that.
You can't do that now. But you guys obey stop signs.
Wait, what?
Like stop signs. They're more of a, if there's someone coming, stop.
Wow.
But if not, just go for it.
Okay.
Go for it, you're fine. I mean, if you get caught,
you're in trouble.
Yeah, you might be like, stop light, you blew past there, and like, sorry, I didn't see it.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
go on your way.
Completely different.
That's why I failed my first driver's test. Well, not a stoplight or not a stop sign, but a stoplight. I had a disagreement about what is considered a red light. The instructor believed the light was red, and I believed it was just about orange. And I failed my driver's test.
So is it green, orange, red?
Yeah, well, green, amber, red.
And here it's green, yellow, red.
Yeah.
Completely different. Interesting. Is the gas pedal on the right side?
I'm saying now again. Yeah, so clutch is on the left, brake on the middle, and then, yeah.
Do you only have is it only manual transmission there?
No, you can get automatic. Both my parents have automatic cars. I've got a manual because you need to pass your test in a manual to be able to drive manuals.
That is okay.
But say if you pass in a manual, you can drive an automatic or a manual. But if you only pass in the automatic, you can only drive automatics.
Here there's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But that's strange. Here, I learned on a manual. I forget now, but that's what I learned on. But I passed the test with the automatic. No one said anything. That's so wild. Yeah,
when I failed my test the first time, I was like in bits. I was like, I want to get an automatic car.
Yeah.
I want to do my test in an automatic. Because I was very bad at driving when I started because I didn't have a car to practice in. So I drove on the day of my test. I'd driven 13 times.
That's it.
And that was the 13th was my 14th was my driver's test.
And you were 17.
When I did the test the first time, I was 18.
How does age work there? Is it? No, I'm just kidding. It's the same.
Every year you add one up.
Okay.
But it was I failed it quite badly the first time.
Yeah.
So you need 8 grade 2s to fail, or 1 grade 3. Like a grade 3 is like a red light, hitting another car.
Damn.
Getting in the wrong lane. So 9 grade 2s to fail, and 1 grade 3. I got 13 grade 2s and a grade 3.
Nice.
So I was a few grade 2s away from failing my test 3 times over.
Jesus. What about you know how if you drive on the freeway here, the right lane is a slow lane, left lane is a passing lane?
Yeah, we still have it the same. Left is left is slow, right's quicker.
Oh my God.
It's kind of just when you're on the inside of the the inside, you're on the quicker lane.
I would always. I'd get in a crash so quick.
Yeah, I'm too scared. I'm coming back in August for a road trip with a few lads I was in school with, and so we all have
to America.
We've only driven on the left hand side of the road our entire lives. Then we gotta survive driving on the road.
Where are you going? What part of America?
It was meant to be. I think I'm missing the first week and a half. It was meant to be. A few of my friends are going to work in New York for the summer.
Oh.
And then they were going to go around. Actually, I've got the itinerary. I can find the itinerary, but it's like a little old road trip, kind of just seeing more Midwest and West America rather than just the classics, New York, LA.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to both of them, but
You gonna come visit here?
Yeah, we actually have a few days in Cedar.
You should bring the mates to the house.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It'd be lit.
It's like start out in like so. I only get there by the time we hit Vegas. Well, it's Boston, New York, DC, and Vegas. And so we're gonna meet up and we're going to Vegas and coming up to Cedar, but we're gonna spend one insane night in Vegas, me and my friend.
Oh yeah.
And then we have, I think, 5 days in Cedar.
That's okay.
Then we're on LA, Yosemite, San Francisco, Chicago, and then home.
Wow.
So we're going all over, really. Which, it's going to be expensive, but
Oh yeah.
I'll work it out. I'll have to go home and work for...
The whole summer.
Yeah.
It's okay. As long as you know what you're doing, right? You get a priorities in check, you'll be good.
Yeah, but that's the problem. As soon as I get that paycheck in, I'm like, oh, I fancy a few drinks.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, one friend is like, oh, we go out tonight. And then all of a sudden, I'm €200 out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm in the middle of nowhere needing a €50 taxi.
That's valid. Interesting. So, real quick, when I graduated high school, my uncle, he lives in New York, and he came back here, and I drove with him back to New York, and it took me, I think, 5 days to drive from here to New York.
Okay.
You almost just choked underwater. It was nonstop,
Yeah,
basically, but still.
So we're flying into Vegas.
Okay.
Everyone's flying into Vegas, and that's where we start driving. If we're after Vegas, we're driving. It's more just to see, because like New York and everywhere out there, you can get around without needing a car.
Yeah.
But like out here, no.
No.
Like if you want to get anywhere, either it's a 5-hour bus for a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
Which is, I did that going from Salt Lake down to Cedar, and it nearly killed me. 4.5 hours on a bus.
In one state.
Yeah.
That's it.
It was actually no, it was longer. It was like 6 hours because our like front axle, like steering axle, just broke.
That's crazy.
So we were on the side of the freeway.
Was it weird seeing? I know that sucks, but was it weird seeing like rural?
Yeah.
Well, Ireland's pretty rural, isn't it?
Yeah, but like I'm from like
city?
like the city, like nearly in the city centre.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a different rural to Ireland.
Okay.
Because everything is still quite, like the roads are good. Like we don't have roads this nice in like the middle of Dublin.
Damn.
Like our roads are like a path with like stone on either side and grass where like no tires touch.
Wow.
And you just got to hope there's not going to be another car coming at you.
Yeah.
Like I've nearly crashed.
In Dublin, huh?
No, this would be like it's further outside of Dublin. But like the city centre and like the surrounding like Dublin suburbs are all right.
How long would it take to drive from one side, the west to the east of Ireland?
West to the east of, I actually did that recently. So like Dublin to Galway, which is like Galway's west coast, Dublin's east coast, took me 2.5 hours.
That's it?
That's it. And then top to bottom from Mizenhead to Malinhead, which are like the most northern.
Mizenhead, Malinhead, that's funny.
The most northern and southern points of Ireland. I think it's like 7.5, 8 hours.
Okay, so it's more long.
Yeah, but like no one does that. Like you'd only do that just to be like, I drove the length of the country. Like it's not a thing that people do commonly.
If you wanted to get to LA from here, it would take you 8 hours. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's wild to think about. I mean, I guess since it's all like the EU, it's all you do still like get that amount of travel in. Does that make sense?
We get a lot of like traveling because we're very close to like the States. Like so, if you're flying from like I don't know how far west it would go, but like a lot of the time they'd stop over in Dublin and keep going.
Yeah.
But we're also a hub we're I think a tax haven technically. Like Apple just like the Irish government like 15 billion in back taxes, and then the government were just like, no, you know what, you're fine. You guys are chilling. You don't need to pay us 15 billion.
That's tough.
Yeah, it was like, which I was fine with, but the EU were just like, no, that's not allowed.
Yeah, I'm sure they were salty about it.
Yeah, it was more just Apple were talking about leaving, and they employ like a couple thousand people in Ireland. So it's like we don't want 1,000 people to lose their jobs.
I feel like that's pretty fair.
Yeah, but the EU did not think so.
What about England? I know your thoughts on England. I'm just curious.
The people themselves, like each individual English person, I don't mind. But as a collective, as a nation,
You hate it.
Underneath that crown is I don't like them. They've put my country through a lot, invaded us many times, the odd genocide as well, which is always tough.
It's always tough.
Yeah, it's never easy.
It's never easy.
They stole our potatoes. That's not even a joke. They the few potatoes we could grow, they just like still taxed us on them and took half of them.
So annoying.
Yeah. And then when, like, during the famine, when, like, India and I think America as well sent over food so the Irish people wouldn't starve to death, England took about, like, 60% of it and then passed 40% on to Ireland.
See, when that happened to us, we just threw their tea in the harbor.
Yeah, but we needed the food. You guys didn't need the tea.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I'm going to go on a tangent here because I don't like the British for this story. So my second name McGrath means son of Gra. That's what the Mac prefix means. Same with the O, like O'Brien. So during the famine, the British Army were like, we'll feed you if you denounce your Catholicism and rid yourself of your Irish name and anglicize your name. So we don't know who, but some of my ancestors were just like, no, go away. We like our name and our religion. But like, there's people all over the country. Like, so, like, I've got friends second name Kelly and O'Kelly. They're two different families.
That's crazy.
But so my friend whose second name is Kelly, his family would have given up the name and the religion to feed their family. Which I like. It's not like a thing in Ireland where it's like, oh, your family gave up the name. Because it was a tough position. But like
obviously, yeah.
Yeah, so the British Army, like, there was no remorse there. They were letting millions of Irish people die because they wanted I don't even know what they wanted. They just wanted to keep us ruled. And
when did this happen?
1845 to 1848.
So it's not that long ago.
No, it's like our population then was 8 million. And our population now, I think, is just about hit 5.
That's crazy.
Maybe it's at 6 now.
That much, huh?
Yeah.
When did they leave the United Kingdom?
We had our Easter Rising was when the rebellions. So before the IRA, there was the IRB, the Irish Republican Brotherhood. They rebelled in Dublin during World War I on Easter Sunday, 1916.
So it wasn't until World War One. Oh,
it was later. It was later.
Oh, damn.
But I don't know how the British did it. They had the easiest win in a rising, and they somehow managed to lose. There was 7. No, I can't remember how many Irish guys there. There was like maybe 70 all over Dublin fighting. Maybe about, like, a lot of them, they surrendered after like a day. But the British, all they needed to do was just not execute them, just imprison them.
Yeah.
But because they executed them, one guy, who I think it was James Joyce. No, not James Joyce. He was a poet. Different guy.
Poet?
Different guy. Different James something. He was shot during the battle, so couldn't stand up. So he was executed in a chair. So like they shot him while he was sat down. Mm-hmm. And it rubbed Irish people the wrong way. So then that's what happened. That's what kicked off us sort of like trying to get our own independence.
Rebellion, yeah.
Then we had our War of Independence, had our Civil War, all within the space of about 30 years. No, not even 30 years, 22 years. And then we eventually got our free, I want to say like 1931.
Damn.
And then we refused, because it was before the Second World War, because we refused to participate.
In the Second World War?
Yep.
You never did at all?
Well, if an Irishman wants to fight, they'd go over and fight for the British Army, which it was like no one looked down on them for it. Like they were doing all right, but the Irish were like, we need to like stand by us as a sovereign nation. We can't just the first chance we get to immediately go under and just follow what the UK do.
The next war.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable. That's crazy. And it's even weirder to think that, I don't know, just all these homies have always just left the British, right?
Yeah.
Kind of something about their character, low-key, because we all leave the British, but damn.
It was, but like, we're very petty with it. Like, we're not a part of NATO.
At all?
No, because we won't sign a peace treaty with the UK
still
until they give us Northern Ireland back.
They still have it?
No, we're not a part of NATO. We're a completely sovereign and neutral nation.
And they still have Northern Ireland?
Yeah. Damn. So Northern Ireland is technically, this is where it gets confusing. There's like Great Britain, there's the United Kingdom, then there's the British Isles.
And there's Wales.
So yeah, so Wales, Scotland and England are Great Britain. Then Wales, Scotland, England and Northern Ireland are the United Kingdom. And then Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, England and Wales are the British Isles. But if you ever get caught saying the British Isles referring to Ireland, it never ends well for anyone.
Yeah.
And then, so it would be financially crippling for Ireland to take Northern Ireland back because it doesn't produce much money.
Yeah.
It gets like subsidised by the UK, pretty much by the Royal Crown. And Ireland aren't in a great like economic state at the minute anyway. But we're still like, no, give us our country back and then we'll sign your peace treaty.
That's crazy.
So if Russia and Ukraine somehow managed to get worse, Ireland will just be like, no, we're chilling. We're fine.
Still? I mean, that's...
I mean, like people would still fight. Like we'd still like put an army together, but it wouldn't be the Irish army.
Yeah, that's fair. Interesting. That's so strange to me. It's just, I don't know. It's just cool. New history that I never heard of before. We're good with England now. Like America and England are best buds now.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I'd like to say I've spent a lot of time around English people. They don't like Americans that much.
That's really.
But like again, it's not more the
That's okay.
the individual. I think it's the collective.
That's okay. They cannot like us.
I'll say it's so. It was. I remember there's a like during the last summer when I was in Dublin, just being in a nightclub and hearing an American accent was the most polarizing thing ever.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, oh Jesus, there's some Americans in here now. Then 5 minutes later, I'd be talking to them, having the time of my life.
Yeah.
Like just talking about nothing. Like absolutely, like zero. Like I don't know what. There's nothing going on in the conversation.
But at first it was, oh my God, Americans.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh, they're very fun and easy to talk to.
That's so funny. Americans are just looked down upon everywhere, huh?
Yeah.
It kind of makes me upset, but also it's like, damn, we really are. Everyone has our name on their mouth. It's okay. It's okay.
About to get Will Smith just going.
Yeah. That's wild.
You know, like it's a lot to do with you guys thinking you're the center of the world.
Yeah, we do that. We do that a lot.
It is funny.
Because we do that a lot. And that's probably why everyone hates us, huh? It's because we
much.
really do think we're just like kings. But
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
like, I can't remember who, I think a guy in school said this to me. He was like, America is like a third world country with a Gucci belt.
That's crazy.
Like they're a third world country with the facade of being rich.
Yeah.
Which I thought was so funny.
I understand that because, like, as far as American influence, like, obviously, I'm not going to cap to you. Like, if Ireland went to war with America, we all know who'd win.
Ireland, for sure.
Yeah.
Or like, you probably have more military men than we have people.
By far.
Like,
No.
how many military?
No.
How many?
We only have like 3 million active military.
Oh, okay, so only like.
But I promise, this is an American pride. I promise you, we would like. Win.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Like if we, and the only thing our biggest thing is if we ever go to war, if someone ever invades us, America has our back. Like that's the only thing we have.
Yeah, no.
Like there's like 35 million people claiming American heritage in America, compared to like the 5 million that live in Ireland.
Interesting.
So Joe Biden is reportedly Irish.
You know.
He had Niall Horan and a famous ex-rugby player Rob Kearney on his in the White House during Paddy's Day, because apparently him and Rob Kearney are cousins.
Huh. That's cool.
So
Joe Biden's a go. He's related to...
Obama's part Irish.
Huh.
Can you believe that? He's a statue in the middle of nowhere in a town in Offaly.
Really?
Which is it was the weirdest thing, because I remember it happening and then I completely forgot about it. Then I was driving through Offaly. We stopped at like a petrol station and there was just a bust of Michelle and Barack. I was saying like their names like we're best mates and everything, but yeah, my buddy Barack. He had a statue in Offaly.
That is wild that he had a statue over there.
Yeah.
And doesn't have one in here at all.
He claims Irish because he has Irish heritage.
That's fair. Interesting.
Which I don't know the validity of it all.
Yeah.
But we'll
Right.
claim it. We take the good ones.
I think it's cool.
And
Personally.
as soon as like someone random comes out and it's like, oh, I'm American, we're just like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Or I'm Irish. Like if Donald Trump came out and was like, oh, I'm Irish, we'll be like, no. you can stay over in America, please.
Real quick, I got one thing. I got to defend my country first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, real quick. So yeah, America. You've been here, right? We're pretty mid. I'm not going to count.
No, I do. I actually do really like it here. I do love America.
That's good.
I think everyone's I think jealous
Of America.
of America in some way, even if they won't admit it. But like having the like people will always say, oh, Americans. Some of them don't even leave their own country,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't really need to.
Ever.
Like if I'd never left Ireland, I would be a miserable man.
Yeah.
I love my country,
Right.
but there's not a lot there.
Right.
Like once you've like say 21 years straight on that island, it would drive me insane.
Right.
But knowing that there's a world out there, but America, like you can go
Anywhere,
like,
and it's the same.
You can go New York. It's completely different to
Cedar.
Like to Cedar, yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. It is nice. It's a culture shock within itself. But I mean, as far as like military influence, obviously America has a lot of that around the world, but also culturally. Like you told me, you watch American movies. You know what I mean? Everyone watches American movies, right?
Like I had someone before when I came out here was like, they referenced Breaking Bad, and they're like, "Do you have Breaking Bad in Ireland?" And I was
You're like, of course we do.
"Yeah." I was like, "It's one of the biggest TV shows there's ever been. Of course we have it."
That's cool. I'm happy you watched that, right?
Great show.
It is a great show.
My second favorite show of all time.
Yeah. I think America gets a bad rap though because of like every negative thing that happens here, like schools being shot.
Yeah, like that's something that I can't really fathom.
It's crazy.
Like,
it really is crazy.
And I always see like videos of like, oh, how schools are taking measures to stop it. They're doing everything but banning guns.
Yeah.
Like I saw they're like I don't know how wide it is or if it's a new product. It's like a reinforced room that you can add into a classroom. So that if anything happens, you can just run into.
I've never heard of that one.
I saw it on
crazy.
TikTok, I think.
That's, how sad that is?
Yeah.
That is so sad.
And it's like, I remember there was I know the example that always gets brought up is Australia.
Mm-hmm.
They had a mass shooting in like the 70s. And they're like, all right, guys, I think it's time to get rid of the guns.
And they just did.
Then they're just like, yeah, I think you're right, mate.
That's a
And
pretty good Australian accent.
They all just gave their guns in. And we're just like, yeah, it's probably best.
What happened after that?
No, they haven't had a mass shooting since.
Okay. But
But they did lose a war to emus.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what an emu is? It's
like the animal?
A big bird. They lost a war.
They lost a war to the bird.
Genuinely, like they brought in the military to fight the birds because the birds were attacking crops, and they lost the war. The birds like overran the soldiers, and the soldiers pulled
crazy.
out. So I had an Australian friend, Jack. We called him Jick because of the way he said his name. Bless him. He got bullied for it because his country lost the war to emus.
That's pretty crazy. I think that's bullyable worthy.
Yeah. He lived in Ireland for about 2 years and moved back to Australia.
Damn.
We did love him. I saw actually he came over Christmas.
I
got very shit faced with him. It was very fun.
Nice. So I mean, I guess it's different for you, but I know America. The reason it's the Second Amendment, it's like the right to bear arms, right, is because of what the British did to us, and it sounds like they did a lot worse to you guys. So I don't know how you don't have guns still, but I just know that if they try to take away Americans' guns, there would be a civil war for sure.
Yeah.
But also, a lot of Americans are also very scared, just because of how America's structured. They are very scared of handing in our guns, and then we turn into Nazi Germany. You know, like.
Yeah, but I will say Ireland has very few guns.
Very few.
We are not like Nazi Germany.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
Well, yeah, but it's definitely I can see why. Where it's like, especially with the army you guys have, if all the guns got handed in, I reckon the army could take the entire country in a day.
Easily. Which I think, I don't know. There's a fine line, right? Guns have been around for 300 years here. I grew up shooting guns. I have a concealed carry. I don't have a gun on me, but if I wanted to carry a pistol, I could.
Bro, I was about to run out of the room.
But see what I mean? But like, yeah, I could do that if I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's open carry in Utah.
Yeah, I don't like guns. I don't agree with having them. But that's
okay.
That's coming from the point of view of I grew up not having them, and
it's a nice take.
Yeah,
it's kind of refreshing because all I hear is how people love guns around here in Utah.
Now I will say when I was shooting it, I felt a thrill I haven't felt in a while. Yeah. But I can see how people like them, but they freak me out.
I bet.
It must be different growing up. Like everyone has one.
Yeah.
But like I remember, every time I come to America, the first thing I see is pretty much usually a gun, because there's usually like loads of security there with just like guns on their hip, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Do cops not have guns in Ireland?
No.
Really?
We have an armed branch of so we call them An Garda Síochána, which means guardians of the peace. So there's an armed unit that we have, but that's very rarely used. They're all like batons, like just big sticks that they hit people with.
No guns for cops either, huh?
No.
Damn, that's wild.
It is, but like we don't have guns like on the streets. Like if there's like an area where there's known to be gun violence, there's still parts of Dublin that like where it's like gang run pretty much.
So people still get guns.
Yeah. So and if there's ever like a claim of like there usually would be an armed unit with them, like so, and then if there turns out to be guns, the armed unit takes control.
That blows my mind to know that like
90% of the Irish police force is breaking up drunk people.
Yeah.
Like
breaking up drunk people. Yeah.
I can't. I was outside a bar in Dublin called Flannery's, and we were there talking to this very small man. Like he was maybe 5'1", and he was, I can't remember where he was from. He said he was Arabic anyway, and they said that he said they wouldn't let him in because they were being racist at the door. So we're there talking to him, and we're like, okay, like all his friends got in, he didn't. We're just kind of like just having a conversation with him. And then a huge van, like a huge Garda van, pulls up behind them. 7 guys jump out and grab him. This is a little like 5'1" man.
Oh
like,
my God.
Like I could have beat him up. I couldn't hurt a fly in a fight, but I still could have beat this man up. And they had 7 guys to pick him up and bring him into the van.
I know you hate him, but that gave me such Conor McGregor vibes right there.
Yeah, no, I don't like him.
Why don't you like him?
I have some personal. The personal thing was I was at a music festival in Dublin, and I was just there standing, as one does, trying to find my friends because I was lost. I was 16. I was drunk. I couldn't find my friends, and I just get a huge push from behind, and I turn around and there's just like about a 6'7" security guy behind me, and then like 4 more around him, and then I look and I can just see Conor McGregor staring at me, and I was like, okay, what? Get out of the way, and I was like.
That's what he said to the security guard.
The security was just like, get out the way, son. And I was like, okay. Like, you could have asked or walked around me. Like, I wasn't like huge blocking one doorway.
Yeah.
I was in a field.
Yeah.
And they could have just walked around. They didn't. And I found that annoying. And he gives Irish people a bad name.
Because of how much shit he talks?
Yeah, no, when he was talking like all his shit, like back, I'd say before the Khabib fight. Maybe Nate Diaz, the Nate Diaz fight, maybe. Was when he was at his peak. When he knocked out Aldo, everyone in the country loved him.
Yeah.
Then he got off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
He punched an old man in a pub for no reason.
Yeah.
He threw a trolley through Khabib Nurmagomedov's bus window.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro.
But he still is a very funny man. Like, I'll give him that. Like,
He is. Did you watch a Khabib fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heartbroken. Because at the time I was still a McGregor fan. But like I'd say if he fought again, I'd still support him, but I don't like him like as a person. I think he's a bit of an ass.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, he like.
Did you see Khabib jump out of the ring after that fight?
Oh yeah, I was on McGregor's side for that one because I thought that was funny.
Crazy,
like,
right?
Like he dropped like a feet, like the feet. Then Khabib's like brothers, I can't remember if they're brothers or who they were. They came in and started beating up McGregor.
It was just complete
so
mayhem.
wild. Like, it was like it must have been 5 a.m. at home watching that. There was like we were a bit drunk. No, we actually weren't that drunk. We were just there watching it and just seeing just all this happen. We were just like,
"There's no way this is happening." Yeah,
we were just like, what is happening?
He like jumps over the ring and just jumps onto them.
He leapt. I wouldn't even say he jumped. Like he went 2 feet.
He was a tiger. Pouncing on his prey, basically.
It was so crazy.
Yeah.
I'd be like, and I was we're talking about him more. I'm softening up to him again, but he's a bit of an asshole.
He is definitely. Yes. Did you watch him versus Mayweather?
Yeah, actually, that's when he was at his funniest. I think. Like, what? You got a skill bag? You can't even read. But like, he's a funny guy. He is.
His
funny.
accent's funny.
But yeah, so he's not far from where I live. He's from Lucan.
Okay.
Which is I'm from Booterstown. It's maybe like a half an hour drive.
What would you consider your accent?
It would be classed as South Dublin.
South Dublin.
Like
what is McGregor?
McGregor, he's also from South Dublin, but it'd be classed as like a North Dublin accent.
And like, you know how you get those really, really like almost unintelligible accents? Like, do they have those in America too? But like in Ireland, like they have their so really thick accent.
Oh yeah, so like that would be like down west of the country, like Cork, Kerry. Where they all talk a bit slower and a bit more they enunciate the rows. It's very nasal. Like like some of them are just very hard to understand.
Yeah.
Like I've worked. My cousins are all from Cork, and they have strong accents on them. But I've managed to work out what they're saying half the time. But some people I run into and I'm just like, not having a clue.
It's so strange. So if I went over there to Ireland and like went to the pub and have a drink with all the lads, would they give me shit or what? Would they be nice because I'm American?
My friends, they wouldn't give you shit straight away.
But it's because you're my homie.
Yeah, like they'd warm up. No, I'd say it's almost because they're not friends with you yet. And then as soon as you're friend, that's how you know you're friends with an Irish person when they start taking the piss out of you.
Okay.
Like to your face.
Yeah.
You know, if they're just like if they start making fun of you to your face,
then you're good.
Then yeah, you're friendly.
But if I was just like an American in a pub, they wouldn't like feel weird about it because I'm American. No,
they'd be. I remember on our 12 pubs we went to a group of Americans. We ran into them. And I think it was pub 9, so we were fairly drunk. We weren't quite at the end, but we were fairly drunk. And I just remember telling them how I'm going to run for president of America, and I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I said I'd work it out. then I told them, I'm going to Southern Utah, and they're just like, why?
Out of everywhere.
Yeah, they I think I can't remember. They were from like, I want to say like Vermont, like somewhere like it was northeast. It
That's
wasn't
where
New
Drew's
York.
from.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was talking to Drew today. Nice lunch with Drew, Dawson, and Mitch.
Nice.
Yeah, so I love talking to Americans because you guys get a kick out of the accent.
We do.
Yeah.
We really do.
Like,
Is it offensive?
No, I love it because at home I have like, if you were ranking Irish accents, I've probably got one of the worst rankings.
Okay.
South Dublin, it gets the most hate because it tends to be associated with like the posh part of Dublin, which is
It's like rich,
yeah,
posh. Yeah.
posh, so rich.
I've heard that word.
Like so that like South Dublin would be known as like the richer side, posher. Everyone's a bit like up their own hole, like up their own ass about themselves, and that's kind of where my accent comes from. But like,
but at least it's like intelligible.
yeah,
Like I know what you're saying.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I usually when I'm at home I tend to talk a bit quicker. But I as soon as I got off the plane in Salt Lake, I'd been awake for like 24 hours at that point, and I was like, I need a coffee to get me through like the next 5-hour drive. And I get to the Starbucks and I'm like, oh, can I just get an Americano, please? Like, I didn't say it like I don't know I said Americano weird. But like I when I'm like at home, I tend to talk a bit quicker, and it tends to get a little bit
More Irish.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Oh, hold on 1 second," and I was like, "Okay," and then some woman comes over and starts speaking Spanish to me,
No
and
way.
I was just like, and I was like, I don't speak Spanish, and she just goes, "Oh," and then looks over at her friend. The friend comes back and goes, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were speaking Spanish to me," and I was like, "No, this is English." She was like, "Okay," so I had to slow down what I was saying so she could understand me.
Right.
Well, when a few drinks into me, I get very Irish. I get very patriotic. You saw me on Paddy's Day. I was doing the Irish jig, singing some Irish songs. I hijacked the speakers at one point.
That's
I was like,
good.
we're playing nothing but Irish music.
You have to on St. Paddy's Day.
Yeah, it would be criminal not to.
Do you guys pinch people in there?
No.
Oh, okay. It's only American.
It's people don't even usually wear green.
Okay.
We use it as an excuse to just get very drunk.
I assumed.
Like, I still remember my favourite St. Paddy's Day I've ever had was 2018, March 17, 2018.
Okay.
Ireland played England in rugby in Twickenham, so in London Stadium, to win the Grand Slam. I don't remember us winning the game, but I do remember the trophy lift after, because I woke up on the floor, no one else in the room with me.
Jesus.
And I look up and I'm like, oh, we won. So I found my friends. They're all off celebrating with my friends' family. And so then we continue to drink more, head into town. I think 2018, I was 16. So not an ID on me. No, I wasn't able to drink anywhere, but we were like, we'll head into town. I actually had a fake ID. I bought some beer, and we just walked around Dublin drinking, talking to some lovely Canadian women who were loving us until they found out we were 16. And then they were just like, I was like, oh, how old are you guys? And they're like, oh, we can legally drink here. And I was like, oh, okay, that's crazy. How old are you? And they're like, oh, we're 20. And I was like, oh, great. And they're like, how old are you? And I was like, oh, 18. And then very quickly, we got found out that we were...
What is the legal age there of consent?
17.
17? 17.
17 to the best of my knowledge.
Okay. Interesting. That's strange.
Yeah, and what's it here, 18?
Yeah, it's 18.
Yeah. And
It's
the
18
UK is 16.
That's just...
Weird.
It's weird. Yeah. There's like some places that are like 14. It's very strange. That's such an odd note to end it on, but we got to end it soon because the school's about to close. But that's definitely the weirdest one. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
It was a good time. It was super fun.
It was, yeah.
And we'll have to do another. We'll probably do another. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. Probably. Why not, right?
Well, I reckon we get a few beers into us and do it.
And then do a podcast.
Just see what happens.
See what happens.
No notes. Nothing.
None.
Just sit down and talk.
Just sit down, have a couple beers. Truly Irish podcast. I bet.
Truly Irish.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. All right. So we'll see you next time.